Hi, second grade. It's Mrs. Fisher back here with another math lesson. Today, I'm coming to you from my backyard classroom. And today, we're going to talk about three-dimensional shapes. Hopefully, you paid attention to that video the other day about the difference between two-dimensional and three-dimensional. Today, we're going to focus on the flat sides and the curved sides and some characteristics of some three-dimensional shapes. All of the shapes you see in front of me are three-dimensional because they have a length and a width and a height. So they go in three different directions. So today, I'm hoping that you have already gotten this worksheet, this one, oh, it's right here, this worksheet out and ready to go. I'm going to show you my shapes, and then I'd like you to go and see if you can find some similar three-dimensional shapes at your house. So the first one that you'll notice on your paper is this here. It's a cube. So I have the three-dimensional shape here, but then I also have this photo cube that I have in my house. Maybe you have a Rubik's Cube or something like that. So in a moment, you're going to get a cube. The next one on your paper is this rectangular prism. I have a tissue box that's in the shape of a rectangular prism. So maybe you get a tissue box or something else like a cereal box. The next shape is this here. It's a cone. And you can tell I have a party hat that I found inside the house. Maybe you have a funnel or a party hat, anything in the shape of a cone, maybe an ice cream cone you have, you're going to grab that. The next shape, the fourth shape, is this one here. It's called a sphere. And I grabbed a tennis ball to do my math work with today, followed by this one called a cylinder. I have a can of corn. Maybe you have a can of soup or another can of some sort. Water bottles are cylinders. And then the last one I have, and this was the hardest for me, is a pyramid. Now, pyramids can have a square base. They can also have a triangle base. They might have a pentagon base. I have here a pyramid from the Mayan ruins. And so I'm going to use that. If you don't have one of these three-dimensional shapes in your houses, it's okay. Just find what you can, and you can use the pictures or the objects that I have here to help you do this activity. So I want you to go find these objects in your house, as many of them, up to 6 as you can, and bring them back to where you're working, and then press play. All right, I'll see you soon. All right, are you back with your three-dimensional shapes? If you are, let's get started. But before we get started, I want you to make sure you have this worksheet. If you can't print it out, make sure you draw the chart that's shown here, because we're going to fill that in. We're going to do two shapes together so you understand what's expected, and then you're going to get to work on your own. And then we'll meet back here after you've done your work to discuss the questions at the bottom of this paper, along with some other questions I have for you. So let's start with shape A. Shape A is this shape, that cube. So I want you to take a look at your cube, whatever cube you have, and the first column in the chart says the number of flat surfaces. And so if I look, you're going to hold your cube, and I want you to count the number of flat surfaces that there are. Touch all of them and write down what you got. Did you count 6? You should have counted 6 flat surfaces on this cube. Now, the next column says the number of curved surfaces. Well, I noticed that all of these surfaces are flat, so that must mean that there are 0 curved surfaces. Fill a 0 in on the second column. Now, the next 3 columns say stack, slide, and roll. So you're going to take your cube, and I want you to think about, can you stack the cube on top of something else? Depending upon the shape, you can stack it. Or could we stack cubes on top of one another? We surely could. So we're going to put an X in the column that says stack. Now, can we slide this? If I push this, it slides. If I push it this way, it slides. So let's put an X in the slide column. Now, how about roll? Does this roll? No, this does not roll. So we want to put nothing in that column. So your chart should look a little bit like this one. If it doesn't, make yours look like this, and then we'll continue. All right, we're going to skip B, C, and move on to D. And then you'll come back and do B and C on your own, and then you'll do E and F on your own as well. So the one for D, the shape for D, is this one here. This is a sphere. So I have my tennis ball, which is also a sphere. And let's think about it. Let's look at the columns. The first column says, how many flat sides does this have? Well, it's a ball. There's no flat sides, right? So we're going to put a 0 in that column. How many curved sides does this ball or sphere have? Well, it's one big curve. So the answer is 1. There's one curved side. It makes up the entire three-dimensional shape. All right, now let's have some fun. Stack. Can I stack these on top of one another? Oh, no. Let's try this way. Nope. Maybe if I were a clown or on America's Got Talent, I could do it. But in reality, you can't stack spheres on top of one another. So let's leave that column blank. How about slide? Well, if I try to slide this, what does it do? Oh, it rolls. So we can't put an X in the slide column, but we can put an X in the roll column. So there's one thing that's different between the cube and the sphere. This rolls, the cube does not. All right, take a look at your paper. Does it look like this? If it does, you're ready to continue on. If it doesn't, I want you to make your chart look like this, and then you're going to fill in the rest of the shapes. When you're done filling in the rest of your shapes, I want you to try to answer the questions at the bottom of this page on your own. And when you're all finished that, I want you to play this video, and I will go over the answers with you. And then I have a few more questions for you to answer. All right, good luck. Get started. Okay, did you fill in your chart? I hope it's all filled in. We're going to use that to help us answer the questions at the bottom. So I noticed that question number 3 says, which solids have only flat surfaces? Did you say A, the cube, B, the rectangular prism, and what letter is this? F, the pyramid? If you did, you answered that correctly. If you didn't, that's okay. Change your answers and make sure you understand why. Number 4 says, which solids have only curved surfaces? That keyword is only. Well, the only three-dimensional shape with curved surfaces is the sphere. So hopefully you said figure D. Number 5, which solid has both flat and curved surfaces? Flat and curved. Well, the cylinder, letter E, has flat surfaces and curved surfaces, right? You could stack it and roll it. And this one here, the cone, which is letter C, this has a flat surface and a curved surface, right? You can stack it, stack it. You can roll it. You can slide it as well. So that's the answer to number 5. The last one, number 6, says, which solids can you stack? It's a tricky one because they want to know which three-dimensional shapes could you stack from the bottom or from the top. So the answers to that, if you've thought about it that way, are A, the cube, B, the rectangular prism, and E, the cylinder. Because any of these shapes could be on the bottom or the top, and the structure will still stand. Right? The other shapes, maybe you said that the pyramid can stack because it can stack one way, but it can't stack the other way. Same thing with the cone, right? It could stack that way, but we couldn't stack something on top of it. I mean, unless we were incredibly balanced. So the answer to number 6 is A, B, and E. Okay, I have a few more questions for you. So if you have a slate, you could get that out to write your answers, or just think it in your head. So my first question is, which solids can you roll here? Which ones can you roll? Can you roll the sphere? Yep, you can, right? Here it goes. Can you roll the cube? No. Can you roll the pyramid? No. How about the cone? Well, we can't roll it that way, but watch. You could roll it that way. It will roll in a circle. So the cone. How about the cylinder? Sure can. We already saw that. And the rectangular prism? No, that just slides. So the answer to that is C, D, and E. Let's do one more. Which two solids can you move in the same ways? Which two solids can you move in the same ways? That means which two can either both stack, which two can both slide, which two can both roll. But they have to be able to move in the same exact ways. This one's a little bit tricky. Think about it for a minute. Which two move in the same exact ways? Do you have an answer? I'll tell you what it is. The answer is A and B. Here's why. A and B can both stack, they can both slide, and they both can't roll. So A and B move in the same way. Some of the others that you may have guessed might be, let's see, maybe you said the cone and the cylinder, but look, they both slide, they both roll, but they both can't stack. Remember, we said just the cylinder can stack. That was a little bit of a tricky problem. All right, second grade, great work with your three-dimensional shapes. Now you're going to go try some pages in your math workbook. I've also left some other activities that have to do with shapes for you to try if you choose. And I'll see you back here next time to talk more about shapes and patterns. Have a great day, friends. Bye.